Hello and welcome to this video from the C3S Climate and Energy Educator Demonstrator Tool about solar radiation patterns across Europe. So first of all, let us start with this map of Europe which shows solar radiation. So as we can see in the south, there are quite distinct oranges and quite pale yellows here at the top, which is showing you this difference in solar radiation, which is more intense here in the south and less intense here in the north. And as we cycle through the years here, because these are average annual solar radiation figures through the historical period here, you'll notice that that pattern very, very rarely changes. In fact, if we change the map to look at even smaller areas, so a higher spatial resolution, we'll see that this pattern becomes a lot more marked. You can see the orange is a lot more clearer now here in the south and a lot less distinct in the north. So why is this the case? Well, we know, well, it's common knowledge that the equator is the warmest part of the Earth. But the misconception is because of this bulge here that sticks out towards the sun, that is what makes it warmer, but that is actually a misconception. You know, the distance between the Earth and the sun is 150 million kilometers. So this distance here, so from the pole, so this distance here from the pole to the edge of the equator, has a negligible difference on the amount of solar radiation received here compared to here. So the real reason is to do with how the beams of solar radiation hits the Earth. So for demonstration purposes, let's split these up into 3 equal beams. We can see that the furthermost north one here is striking Europe and having a wide area that it is hitting here. And this makes this beam less intense. So this area here is receiving less solar radiation. Whereas if we have a look at this beam here, which is striking close to the equator, we can see that it is more focused, more intense. And that is actually the reason why you have a difference in solar radiation being received between the equator and the poles. So now, of course, we know that this difference is quite marked between winter and summertime. So as the Earth tilts away from the sun, or the northern hemisphere tilts away from the sun, you can see how this effect is enhanced, even more spread out here. So Europe is colder, particularly in Northern Europe. And if we compare with summertime, you can see how these beams are more focused, so therefore we get our higher temperatures and more solar radiation received. So if we have a look at the map again, and what does this mean for the numbers for the figures? So if we change the map to December, the month of the winter solstice, when Europe receives less solar radiation, you can see exceptionally small numbers here. So Finnmark, the northern county of Norway, 0.03 watts per square metre. Very little solar radiation in the wintertime. But as we go south and we look at Sicily here in southern Europe, you'll see that's 73 watts per square metre, or 78 watts per square metre. So markedly a lot more because of the more direct solar radiation. Now, if we switch to summertime, you'll see a complete difference here. The map turns orange, and Finnmark, they're receiving a lot more solar radiation, more than southern Italy does actually in the wintertime, 171 watts per square metre, but in no way in any comparison to southern Italy with 321 watts per square metre. So you can understand why many people like to go to southern Europe, even in wintertime, not just for the warmer temperatures, but for the amount of sun that's received too. So let's finish off with this absolute wonderful time-lapse video, which you can find on YouTube. So this is Tromsø in northern Norway. We can see here during the winter solstice, very dark for most of the day, but in fact, only a few hours of sunlight, as you can see here, being received in the middle of the day, compared to about 24 hours of sunlight during the middle of summer. So you can see the impact that has on someone's day in Norway. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you found that interesting and enjoyable. Please do explore the tour on solar radiation using this link and share your experiences using the hashtag C3SEduWemsey. Thank you.